Hello everyone. So, if you've watched my channel before, then you might know that I used to upload mental health videos where I talked a little bit about, my experience with mental health. But I took down all those videos because I was just so afraid of the wrong people finding them, and I was just really paranoid, so I took them down. But I'm in a better place mentally now, so I think I'm going to try, making videos again. And today, I just want to talk about my experience with antipsychotics. Just to kind of give an idea of how they affect me and, how they affect the brain, and it's different for everybody. So this is just my experience. And, I'll probably talk about in another video about the dismissive attitudes towards, patients who are on psychiatric drugs, by mental health professionals. But I don't think I'm going to get to it in this video because it'll just be too long. So, in case you haven't seen any of my past videos that I took down, I have been diagnosed with PTSD and bipolar disorder with psychosis. So, I've been experiencing psychosis since I was about 14. I think that was the first time I started hearing voices. But I didn't start seeing a psychiatrist until my freshman year of college. So, it was about the very beginning of 2017, about January 2017, I started seeing a psychiatrist. I had seen therapists before, but not an actual psychiatrist who can diagnose and prescribe medications. So I had no idea what to expect. So I went to this psychiatrist, and, I told him what was going on, and he wanted to put me on an antipsychotic. And I had never been on any kind of psychiatric medication, so, I didn't really know what an antipsychotic was, how it would affect the brain, how it would affect me physically. But I trusted him, he's a doctor, he knows what's best. So he put me on Latuda. And I don't remember the dosage, but I remember it being pretty low because it was, my first time ever taking this type of medication. So he started me on a low dose of Latuda, and I guess it worked okay, but I really just didn't feel great. Mentally I felt great. I was to the point where I was manic, and he was convinced that it was because of bipolar disorder, and I think that it was the medication that made me manic. But anyway, so, mentally I was feeling like the longer I took it, I felt better and better. I could feel myself entering into a manic episode. I was just really manic. I wasn't sleeping. I had very high energy. I was very, irritable very easily. But I was also feeling kind of sick, I was just feeling nauseous. So, I told him about it, and he wanted to increase the dosage because he thought that my mania was being caused by my bipolar disorder. So he thought that upping the dosage would help that. So he increased the dosage, and it ended up being a fairly high dose. Not the highest, but, higher than what I would put somebody on who had never been on this kind of medication before. So it was a pretty high dose, and I started to feel very sick. I was incredibly nauseous. I couldn't really eat solid foods because I would just throw up. And I had bad headaches. And then it started to have started to cause hormonal changes, So my period stopped. And that freaks me out, so I ended up going off of the Latuda after a few months. And then he wanted to try Zyprexa. He said that I might have better luck with an older antipsychotic. Because Latuda was, it was very new at the time. still is, but like, it was, it was, I don't know when it first came out, but it was very new in 2017. That was like the one that everybody was prescribing. So he decided to try Zyprexa. This one was considerably cheaper, so I was a little bit more enthusiastic about it because I could actually afford it, So I went on the Zyprexa, low dose to start with, and then we worked our way up. And it worked, did the job. Like, it didn't completely get rid of my psychosis, but it did control it. And it controlled my mood swings. But I was just really tired and out of it all the time. And, I couldn't really focus on anything. I had brain fog. And I just felt numb. Like, the medicine worked, but it worked by making me numb to everything. I still hallucinated, but I didn't care, and things didn't really bother me anymore. Like, I was just numb. Like, I couldn't feel things fully. And I started to gain a lot of weight really quickly. Like, I was just eating and eating and eating all the time. It's like it triggered something in my brain that just made me have to eat. So I ate, and I gained a lot of weight. So he took me off of that because of the weight gain. And then he wanted to try Vraylar, which was another brand new one. So he started me off on Vraylar. And Vraylar has been kind of a sneaky one because when I first went on it, it didn't do anything at first. It took like a month for it to even start doing anything. And then, it had benefits, like it did control my psychosis, it did control my mood swings, and it did control like my flashbacks and nightmares and stuff. But the longer I took it, the more issues started popping up. Like, I'd start having really bad headaches. And then, I started having, like, akathisia, which progressed into, like, the worst akathisia, like, you could ever imagine. Like, I wanted to kill myself. It was so bad, like, just to get it to stop. Like, I could literally never get comfortable. Like, I was just so uncomfortable all the time. I always had to move. I couldn't sleep because I couldn't be still and relax enough to sleep. So, I was having a really bad time, and it wasn't worth the benefits. And then it got to the point where I couldn't even really swallow anymore. Like, I had to come off of it because, like, even liquids were hard to swallow. So I came off of that one, and then I coasted for a while with no medication. But, lately I've been having more issues pop up with my psychosis and my mood. Like, I've been lashing out at people for no reason or for things that aren't their fault. And I've been having more flashbacks, and, I've just been really depressed and irritable, and, I've been having, issues with psychosis and hearing voices. And so, my therapist thought that the best option for me would be to keep trying with the medication. And I trust her judgment. She's a great therapist. I've been seeing her for more than 2 years. She's great. So I thought, I'll try. I'll keep trying. Maybe there's one that will work. So I went on Seroquel recently, quetiapine, is the generic. And he started me on 100 milligrams, which I later found out is too high to start somebody on. A lot of people, they start on 25 or 50 milligrams, and then they work their way up as needed. He started me off on 100 milligrams, and he didn't really tell me anything about it. Like, I told him that, I've heard good things about it because, I know people who take Seroquel, and, they've had good results. So I was willing to try it. So, I tried the Seroquel. The first night I took it, it just completely knocked me out, like, I was so disoriented the next morning. Like, I fell asleep with the light on, my phone in my hand, So it was just, I woke up very confused, and I was really tired throughout the day, but I kept taking it because, in my experience, once you kind of like take it for a while and adjust, then usually antipsychotics get easier to deal with, at least for a little while. So I took it for about 4 nights. Then I woke up, and at first I was fine, but then, like, as the morning progressed, I started to feel very sick. I just, I was having very, very bad dizzy spells, and I was really nauseous. I threw up a couple of times, and this was on Easter too, so like I couldn't even enjoy Easter. Like, I went to see my family, they had like this, a bunch of food out, and I couldn't eat any of it, I was just feeling so sick. So I skipped my next couple of doses, and then I called my nurse, and I told her what was going on. She told me that I likely just had a virus, and to keep taking the Seroquel, but cut it in half if I need to, and just take half for a week. So I've been trying that, even though I've never really known a virus to only last 2 days. I feel like, something else was going on there. But, I thought, okay, well, I'll take it. So I've been taking it for a couple of days at 50 milligrams. And honestly, I feel the same as when I took it at 100. I mean, I don't feel like, nauseous, and I'm not throwing up and stuff, but I just feel very tired, very out of it. And, I keep being told, just keep taking it, you'll get better, like, you'll get used to it, like, you'll adjust. But the thing is, like, I don't really want to be, like, numb all the time. Like, yeah, I guess it'll control my psychosis, I'll be calm, but, like, at what cost, So I'm considering whether or not I want to even continue with medication. I don't even really want to see a psychiatrist, but at the center that I go to, you can't just see a therapist as far as I know. Like, you have to see a psychiatrist and a therapist. And I like my therapist, and I'd like to continue seeing her. So, I'm continuing with the psychiatrist. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to kind of share my experiences with antipsychotics and to kind of give some insight, into what it's like to take them and how mental health professionals react to people taking them. And, I'll probably make another video where I go into more detail about the dismissive attitude towards psychiatric drugs and people who take them in another video. But, I mean, this video is already too long, so I'm not going to do that in this one. But yeah, I'm going to try to keep uploading regularly. And just, talk about different things. If you have any experience with antipsychotics, maybe you can, share your experience and, just put it out there, because some people have good experiences with them, and some people have very bad experiences, and some people are in the middle, And for me, so far, it really depends on the drug, But I'm hoping that I'll either find one that works with minimal side effects, or I'll be able to control my symptoms and my behavior without medication. That's my ultimate goal, is to not need medication. But anyway, if you got through all of this, then thank you for watching. And, I'll try to keep uploading videos in the future about, mental health related stuff. But yeah, if you have any ideas of, like, what you want me to talk about, for those of you who have seen my videos before, just leave a comment and give me some suggestions. But anyway, thank you for watching. Bye.